Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you all doing today? Hope you're having a great day. Let's get rid of the music here, or turn it way down. All right, I like this song. Funky Morty, Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Very cool. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay, cool. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing pretty well. I have a few games to take a look at. I have gotten back to over-the-board chess after my break over the holidays. So if you guys are coming into this late or seeing me for the first time, I'm a chess creator who is documenting their journey to get to National Master. I don't think it's been done, or at least there's been a lot of discussion lately about whether or not adults can make significant improvements later in life. And I'd like to kind of squash most of those rumors or thoughts. Anybody, and prove that if you want to improve, you can with enough work and dedication. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I started my journey about a year and a half ago. Yeah, approximately, maybe a little bit more than that, with the road to Class B. So I was a Class C and D player, and I wanted to get to Class B, which was 1600. And I've solved that, or I've completed that goal. And now it's time to reach Class A, which is 1800. So the USCF has a class rating system. And if you haven't gotten or looked at that, it has ratings all the way from 0, or well, I think the lowest is 100, but 100 all the way up to where the pros are, which is 2800. I think the top level that Magnus Carlsen ever hit was 2882. I think is the record. I don't know exactly. I might be off by a few points on that, but so actually my camera is a little messed up. Let's move that. There we go. Now I'm a little bit centered. Cool. Yeah, so I wanted to document my journey because I think a lot of people can relate to it. I think a lot of you can relate to it, where you picked up chess maybe after the pandemic, or you saw Queen's Gambit or something like that, and you're like, now I'm really into chess, and you're an adult and you didn't learn when you were a kid. So now you're kind of at the point where, okay, what do I need to do to improve? And there's no shortage of information about chess improvement out there, online, in books, all kinds of stuff. I've got a lot of books behind me here that you can see, and in that cabinet behind me, there's actually a whole bunch more, even that I haven't got to, and I actually have a number of them here. I've got Martin Justison's book on extremely hard mate in two puzzles, and they are, they're all the composed were by Sam Lloyd, and they're difficult puzzles, and they will give you a headache for sure, but they're all worth doing. So, okay, these next two games, I'm going to present two games today. I will put them out on my YouTube channel after. I am a little bit behind in my posting today. In about 13 or 14 minutes or so, I will be posting game 8, but I still have yet to post game 9 and 10, and then this is going to be 2 more coming for you guys to see how we've done, and I'm pretty excited. Okay, let's dive in to the game. Welcome everyone. I hope you guys have all had a great day. This is game number, I believe, 11. I could be wrong, but I'd have to go look at my notes. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me in the comments. But this is the round 2, and you're like, whoa. This isn't round 1. I took a bye in round 1 and round 4 because round 1 was, I had something going. I can't remember exactly what I had going, but something, I was busy. And then round 4 is actually during Valentine's Day, which is this week. So when you see these, it will have already passed. But this is round 2 of the Cold Weather Swiss tournament, and I am playing Jim Koons. I've played him many times before, and I believe I've presented some games on my channel with him. So let's kind of get into it. And let's switch the board first of all. And I think we can actually go to my analysis screen. There we go. This is a little bit better for you guys. Perfect. Okay. I played the ready. This is the first time I actually got to play a ready and over the board. Actually, no, I don't think it is my first one. I'd have to look at my games here. Did I play a ready? Maybe. I don't think it's my first one, but it's still new. I'm not super comfortable with it. And he played a very aggressive c5, d5 right out of the gate. And I'm just going to continue getting castled. And this was a surprising move to me. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a book move, of course. I thought that he might consider bringing his bishop out to f5 or g4, but he decided to hold back on that and play more of a French type of structure. So now's the time to kind of strike in the center. I've gotten completely castled here, and he's still kind of in the middle. So we want to kind of strike in the center and kind of blow some things up. if we can, cause some tension in the center. He kind of resolved the tension, and I added the tension back again. I want to fight for these center squares, and so far I'm still in my opening prep. I'm comfortable, and I know kind of where I'm at. I've seen these lines before. I don't know all the plans coming out of them, but I am familiar with them. So I know that you want to keep attacking the center. And the normal move here is exactly what he played, knight to c6, strengthening his center yet again. And he wants to try to work to play e5 if he can. I decided to take, and then he also took. And this is pretty common structure within the ready. And I'm feeling okay. I understand my prep. I'm getting to a position that I'm at least comfortable with, or comfortable with is probably the wrong way, but I've seen before, at least in my opening preparation. Have I seen these positions over the board yet? No, so I'm actually kind of uncomfortable, but that's just because the opening is new to me and I haven't seen a lot of these positions yet. I've seen them online a couple of times, so I'm not completely blind here, but this particular variation I have excuse me, I have not seen yet. Excuse my voice. Okay, so I played d3, locking the pawn so he can no longer push that forward. We don't really want to allow, let's say I made another move, and we'll do a new variation here. Let's say we don't want that to occur. That's not so good. That really puts some real pain in our position. So the best way to do that is just to stop it from happening. And you kind of strengthen your center, and now you've got this open e-file, so we can come up with rooks, and we can develop and things like that, and then go after this pawn. So definitely a lot of stuff to do here, which is nice. He developed a piece, getting ready to castle, and I played knight to a3. Now, this move does look a little odd, because it does allow for black to take it and ruin my pawn structure. But I believe, if I'm following the course correctly, Nate Solon has mentioned that this is okay, and it's actually not too much of a problem. You're able to take the knight and get a structure like this, and everything seems to be okay. Black has trouble coming in, and these double pawns actually provide a lot of protection because they're covering these two squares here. So even if the knight was to come here, it still doesn't have any squares to come into because our pawn is protecting it. So it's really not too big of a deal that this happens, which is nice. And I didn't expect him to do this. I didn't expect him to waste that tempo to ruin this, but he actually did. I expected him to castle here. Castling is a move, but bishop takes is also a move. So he felt that this was a better way, and I'm happy with this because now I have the bishop pair, and this is okay for me. He castled, and here is this is the first critical point in the game where it's quite possible that how I proceed here will dictate the game. And I will admit that I've made a mistake here. Now, the move that I made, I'll show you guys the move that I made first. And I made this move first, and this is a poor move. Can anybody tell me why? And if you're watching this video back on YouTube or otherwise, maybe leave a comment and try to figure out what a better move be? And then also tell me, if you can comment, tell me why this move is no good as well. And you guys cannot see the next move, so I think it should be kind of obvious, but for some newer players, it might be really difficult to see. So I'll give you a hint as to why this is bad. This is the thing right here. This is why it's bad, this key square. So for those of you that are trying to figure this out or maybe left comments, the move that could be played would be e5. And that kind of stops your bishop from doing anything. And now it looks just silly right there, which is exactly what happened. And I moved a little bit to... Oh, my dogs are freaking out upstairs. Hey, Abe. Can you check the dogs, please? So yeah, this is kind of a problem, and it became a problem. It's positionally just not a good way to go. Oh, did you want to come downstairs? Is that what you wanted? You wanted to come say hi? Okay. What's that? Can we have a snack? Yeah, go ahead. Go on, buddies. Go lay down. That's Baxter and Frank. I don't know if you can see them. They'll probably pan through the camera either here or trying to go up the stairs. I think Frank was whining and wanted to come in the door to come see me. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so you can see where the issue is, and now your bishop is just looks silly. It can't go anywhere, and it's just stuck. But okay, so yeah, the move to play here, you know, Matthew mentioned that playing g5 or bishop g5, and it's actually not too bad of a move. This is a move that you can do, and it's really not too bad. It gives you the ability to peel off your dark squared bishop, which is kind of going to be stifled, and you can peel off their really good knight. This knight is pretty decent, and now there's this really nice pin. So you might see a variation kind of like this, and I think this is probably okay for white. Is it the best? No, I don't think it's the best option. It is a option, but I think it's kind of... maybe this is a little bit more equalizing for black, but at the class level, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're playing for... you know, winning anyways, but at the class level, you know, if it's 0-0 right now, it's not a big deal. There's still a lot of game left, right? So, but yeah, this I believe is still pretty decent to play. It's not the best. I don't think it's the best move here. But for those of you that were trying to figure it out, I think the best move here is actually rook e1, preventing the pawn from moving to e5. And keeping that pawn out. So a sequence might be something like this, and now we can bring our knight in here. So depending on what they decide to do, right here now we kind of have all the control, and the critical square in the position is this e5 square, and I totally lost sight of that, which caused some issues. So let's say he wanted to stop my bishop from coming. You also have bishop f4 as well, is another option. But some of the ideas are like this. And this is actually pretty good for white. I'm familiar with this position. This is actually a position in the ready course that I have. So this is actually quite familiar, and it's going to be really hard for black to kind of hang on to this pawn, because this is coming now, which is okay, and it's going to be hard to watch. We also have this file, and our bishop becomes really strong on this diagonal. So this is actually pretty good for white. This is kind of what I was hoping for in the game, but I kind of forgot a little bit of my prep, and none of that happened because I played the wrong move order, and I allowed the next move, which was e5, which is a huge problem for me. Huge is probably a bit of an overstatement, but it does become a long-term standing problem in my game, which is kind of a bummer. But you learn. That's why we go over these games, so we can improve and try to figure out how better to navigate some of these positions as we're learning. And I kind of messed this one up a little bit. As you can see, I had the move order. I had the kind of the right moves, but the order that I had was not completely accurate. And looking at the position the way it is right now, I feel as though it probably just would have been better to eat the tempo and just move my bishop back to c1, and then think about coming up to g5, kind of like Matt had mentioned in the chat. And that would have been very engine-esque type of behavior, because I don't know if... Frank, stop. Frank. I don't know if you guys have worked with engines at all, but if you're looking at some of your games, sometimes when you make a bad move, or you make a move that the engine doesn't like, it might not be a bad move, but the engine will, on the next move, will tell you to go back to the square you came from, because that's actually the better move, so you can maneuver your pieces in a different way. So that might have been the case here. I haven't checked. I did a chess analysis on this game in Lichess, and I think I looked at it with the engine, and this bishop to b2 is a mistake for sure. Now, I did not look at what the improvement was, so I've only looked at it from the surface level, because I still had I was just curious. I haven't put tons of analysis into this, but yeah, really tough game. So now he's moved over rook to e8, trying to gain more control of the center, and now he's kind of pretty much gained it. And now I'm just trying to come up with plans and ideas here. And really, I'm kind of suffering because I did mess up my opening. And on top of that, I don't really know the plan on how to move forward. So I don't have that in my head. And I haven't seen enough of the ready games to have even just a basic idea of how I should proceed. I mean, I have the principles down and I understand those, but now we're kind of in the middle game, and I need to know what plans, where are my pieces supposed to go, what are the most ideal squares, and I fell completely short in this game because I'm struggling as to how to proceed. I don't know what to do, which is kind of unfortunate. He played queen to c7, and I think I've got my book here. What move are we on? 13? Queen to c7. Yeah, I spent 6 minutes here trying to figure out what to do. And at this point in the game, I'm already down 10 minutes. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's okay. It's a thing. It doesn't mean anything. Being down 10 minutes, it can later in the game, but at this point, I mean, I've got an hour or 1 hour and 14 minutes left, so I've got 74 minutes on my clock, which is not too bad. But yeah, and here I struggled. I didn't really know what to do or what kind of plan to come up with. What would you guys play here? Leave a comment down below if you're watching this back on YouTube. This is another critical position on how to best proceed, and maybe I should have played this a little bit differently. And now that I'm looking at it, I see a move that I like a lot better than the move that I made. You guys might also see it. I kind of put myself in a hole, but I think I can kind of dig out. The idea about this position is to try to figure out what black wants to do. Black still needs to develop their light squared bishop, and they have big control over, they want to push e5. So a sequence might be something to the effect of bishop f5 and then trying to push e4, because it will, then they'll have 1, 2, 3 pieces on it, and I only have 1 and maybe 2 once I move the knight, and then 3. So, whoops. So there's definitely some fighting for the e5 square, or e4 square. So it's quite possible that the best move in the position is actually knight to d2, just gaining control over that particular square. However, I find that this could potentially be an issue after here, because now the pawn is kind of stuck. But I mean, we can solve that playing like this. And I don't think we want to go the other way. Why wouldn't you play this move? Mainly because this bishop's lined up with your queen and rook, and that just, it has the potential for a lot of danger, and I think that's probably not the best way to go. You'd have to be extremely careful, and it could make your calculations much more difficult. So I think the queen to e2 might be the way to go. And then if something like bishop to g5 or g4, then we can just kick the bishop back. And yeah, we did have to lose this concession by pushing f3, but that's okay. These are some of the things that you do while you play chess. You have to fight for control, and I didn't think of these things during the game, unfortunately. I do like that move, actually, and I think that would have been a better sequence than what I played. I played knight to g5, and you might look at this and say, oh, what's the point of that move? There's not. I mean, there is, but in the sequence that I thought that I saw in the game played out, but it's not actually a good sequence. Not for me, anyways. For the white side of the pieces, it's not so awesome. Some of you might be able to identify that I am trying to control this square, and then the idea was to maybe have some sort of mass liquidation of, well, this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. And if we were to just remove all those pieces and then look at the position, you might be like, oh, okay, I have a bishop against a knight in the endgame, but my bishop is kind of stuck, and I have a long way to get it free. And it doesn't really have any good squares. So let's for a moment take a look at that and go ahead. So he played here, I moved my queen out, and then he came to attack here, and then also, like you can see, he's trying to control the e4 square. And here I was kind of stuck. I didn't know what to do. I thought about making my move here, but I was at the point in the game where I'm like, okay, I don't really have a plan. I'm trying to figure out what to do, and my bishop on b2 is useless. So I came up with a plan of pushing a4 and then bishop to a3, so at least it gets a little bit of activity. But even that was kind of probably wasted, unfortunately. And where is this a4? Yeah, I spent another 6 minutes. This is obviously a lack of positional understanding, because I spent 16 minutes on this move to try to figure out how best to proceed. And I was at a point in the game where I was just stuck and I didn't know what to do. I was just lost. So I played a4 with the idea of getting that bishop free, which even if I get what I want, that bishop's, it's controlling a few squares, but it doesn't matter. So that's kind of rough for me. So I'm kind of in a really tough spot, unfortunately. And so he played normally, played h6, and now if we fast forward, we get this mass liquidation. And knight to e4, bishop takes e4, bishop takes e4, knight takes e4, and rook takes e4. I did consider taking back with the pawn, but I didn't want to allow this passed pawn. I thought that was just not a good idea. And now if you look, there's all these holes in my position. It just looks ugly. Can I hang on to this better than hanging on to the way that it went down? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. I like taking with the rook better because I was expecting them to play f5. And then I would just drop back. And they played a5 themselves, or yeah, I think I said a5 instead of f5. They played a5 themselves, and now I've got this everlasting hole in my position, so playing a4 with the allowing of my bishop was kind of probably useless. I got what I wanted, but it's kind of not really all that good. It's actually pretty bad. Black is fully dominating the position. My bishop is pretty much useless, and I mean this is just an ugly structure right here. So like this is just disgusting. I mean I have this, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot. Positionally, he's just got such a big strong center after f5 that it's really tough for me to proceed. And as after moving, he pushes e4, and now it's just really tough. Yeah, it's really difficult. I made a lot of mistakes to get to a point in the game where now I'm just kind of stuck. And now I'm completely defending. So, and here, yeah, I was going to try to see what you guys would play, but this is another critical point in the game, and this was my blunder of the game, or one of them. I think I had two. This was a blunder, and I don't know if anybody can see why, but I played rook to b5, and can you see why this is a blunder? What is Black's next move? Pause the video, try to figure it out, and then I'll leave a comment as to what line you think is best, and then we'll see if you got it right. So right here, Black has just an absolutely devastating move, which really kind of, which I missed. I missed completely. I didn't consider the move at all, that's another part of the problem with this game, is that I totally missed this move from my opponent. And the move here is knight to e5. And can you see why that's so devastating? So let's take a look at Black's side. So they're attacking here, 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 here. And then once the knight's here, we have this. And this just looks just bad. So, yeah, absolutely rough. Oh, and we also have this one too. Whoops. So he gets a royal fork if I don't deal with that. And I have really no way of stopping it except by taking the knight. So that's why I want knight to, or rook to b5 is such a bad move. Now, is there a better move in the position? I'm not sure. Looking at the position the way it is now, I'd probably trade my e-pawn. I probably should play this way. And they could take this way or take this way. And I think this serves a much better scenario. I mean, even if we get this, whoops, not far enough, sorry, overwrite. So yeah, this is a lot better. I think for white than what I played. This is still a problem. These pawns are just very difficult. The queen's going to come up here. And look at, I mean, this is just going to be very difficult to deal with. And once the queen's up here, black can try to trade off this knight, and I'm just stuck with a bad structure. So I don't even know what I would do here as black or as white. I'm kind of unclear. It's bad no matter what. And then, I mean, even if he didn't do that and he kept the rooks on, I don't think it would matter either. And then he just has two. He would just move the rook here. Let's whoops. Where is that? Here, and then let's say he goes here, new variation, and I don't even know really what to do. But they can move the other rook over here and just, this is tough. This is bad. So I played this and I decided to take it just because I can't allow this to happen at all. So I have to take it. I'm kind of stuck, which is really difficult to deal with. And oh, I wanted to leave those there, but that's fine. So it takes, and he takes. And here I thought I need to alleviate some tension. I need to gain some space for my pieces. And I thought, okay, let's take, and gain some open lines. And this probably wasn't the best option, but I'm trying anything at this point. I'm kind of grasping at straws. And as you can see, he's got these menacing rooks with these two forward pawns. Very difficult to deal with. And I found an interesting counterplay here, and I thought, oh, if I can force a queen trade, I can fix my pawn structure, and maybe I have a little bit of a chance to hang on. And I actually got to this position here. He played this, which I thought was interesting to try, but I went here. He went here to try to take the pawn, and I attacked his queen. And I thought, oh, well. Okay, I feel like I'm doing okay. I don't know that he can smash through these pawns, and I could tell he was extremely frustrated with his play, because defensively I'm just like barely hanging on, I think. And maybe an engine would be able to just push this through, but humanly this is hard to deal with, and really, really hard to kind of get through. So he takes, I take, and I feel pretty good about my structure at this point, because now if I don't move any pawns and I just sit on the position and maneuver my pieces to blockade the pawns, he has to figure out a way to push through, and that's what we work towards. So my endgame skill right here was actually extremely good, surprising. Because now I'm like, oh, and at this point in the game, I'm like, oh, I have a draw. I don't think he can get through. And then, yeah, I made another blunder, which I kind of showed it, unfortunately. But yeah, kind of rough. But yeah, I think if I just shuffle my rook back and forth right here, I think this is a draw. Black has to try to figure out how to break through and cannot. And I don't know if there is a way to do it. Can you guys see any way to get through? I don't. My bishop is controlling key squares, so the king can't come in. If he wants to do anything, he has to trade all this stuff off. And he can't, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this way. So if he comes down here, you know, I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty safe here. I think this was h4 was the wrong pawn move. I think if I just didn't move and I just shuffled my rook back and forth, I think it's a draw. I am curious. I don't know if I can do this while I'm streaming, but I'm going to try. Oh, geez, that messed up. Um, yeah, the engine says you can break through, but yeah, it does want me to just shuffle my rook back and forth. Interesting. Okay, we're going to stop that and then close. So that's weird. So yeah, I mean the engine will allow you to break through. Oh, this is all messed up now. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, that's fixed. Sorry about that. So yeah, the engine still thinks it's, pretty amazing for black, but humanly, how do you break through? I don't know that there's a way. But I allowed it, and mainly because I saw this. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I feel really good. I get this fork, and then this happened. And I thought, oh no. And even here, I think I've kind of messed up by going backwards. I don't know if there's a way out of this, but it's probably bad no matter what. And I took there, and I made a blunder again, and then checkmate. So, yeah, I had a really rough game. Mr. Coons played a really fantastic game, and hats off to him. I look forward to playing him again. I'm sure I will. He's been on the rise rating-wise. I believe he's sitting at... let's see the details. Can you actually see them? No, you can't. He's at 1846, and he's 200 points above me. So losing to somebody 200 points above you, not too big of a deal. Do you want to beat some of these people 200 points above you? Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole idea. But we didn't quite make it, and that's okay. Yeah, either way, it was a really great game. So I really do appreciate you all watching this one. Please leave a like and share if you can. It helps me out, shows me that you guys are supporting this kind of journey and all this work, and I really do appreciate it quite a bit. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Okay. Let's take a look at round 3. Awesome. So let's see here. Let's get my next game up. And we'll pick the right board. Okay. I don't know why that changes. The window panes. Notation. It just stays the way it was. Standard layout. I don't want to change any of those. I think I had one. Okay. Annotation. Let's see. Okay, I do have one saved. Great. And it does seem to work. Okay. Round 3. How are we doing on time? Pretty good. Okay. Let's take a look here. So, welcome everyone. This is game number 12, I believe, in my Road to Class A series. I appreciate you guys checking out my journey and following me along on trying to reach National Master as an adult. We're a long way from that, but we are on the road to Class A. I'm making slow, steady improvements. That's kind of what you want. It's always great to get that super big jump in massive rating game, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to gain expertise, knowledge, and skill so we can improve and slowly reach our way, up and up to Class A, Expert, and then Master. So I'm sitting at 1656 right now, so I've had a steady climb. I've gained over 300 points in the last year and a half. So I'm doing really well. I can't complain at all. I'm gaining a lot of knowledge. I feel pretty strong. And This game is round 2 of the Cold Weather Swiss at my local club, and I'm playing a gentleman named Michael Lawrence. I've played other tournament games against him as well. I think I presented one other one before, and this one was a fun game. I enjoyed this one. I get to play a King's Indian defense. So let's get into it. I knew that he was an English player, so I was actually able to prep this game pretty well, and I knew the line that he played. And I'm going to kind of fast forward through this a little bit quickly and get into the middle game because I think this is where it's most fun. And I got every single move I wanted out of the opening. So right here, we're pretty close. And here is where I thought that there could be a deviation. So I got everything I wanted. And here I was expecting or hoping for bishop to d2, followed by queen to c1. So I was expecting this variation. And we were going to play from here. I was expecting this, and I'm okay with this. I'm happy with this type of maneuver. I'd probably play here and then play for f5 right away. He didn't play that. He was a little bit more aggressive, which I was surprised about. He played bishop to g5, which I thought was a very good move. And I thought, well, this whole last week, I did something that I don't normally do. And what I did was, and I'll show it later after this stream, but I'll explain what I did. I went into ChessBase and I looked through the variations because I was fairly confident I would get to this position without any deviation whatsoever. The transposition and move order didn't really matter, but I felt that we would get here unscathed and then we would play from here. So I played from this position many, many games in the ChessBase database, and I just clicked through them over and over and over. I just looked at all the Grandmaster games, not all of them, but I clicked through as many as I could where black won to try to get an idea and cram some positions into my head about how black would proceed. Given my last game, if you haven't checked out that video, please do. There'll be a link to it somewhere, I'm sure. Otherwise, it's game number 11, I believe, with Mr. Coons. And my lack of planning or knowing what to do in the early middle game to middle game phase was the deciding factor in that game. So I decided to try to figure out how to correct that. And what I did was I just clicked through a whole bunch of games. I didn't really try to go through and like deep analysis on them. All I did was like click through, and I'll show you after this video or later in the stream about why or what I did. And it helped a lot because it kind of showed me like 50 or 60 games of how the Grandmaster proceeds and where they decide to put their pieces. So I had at least the ideas in my head on where my pieces should go or the direction I should take. So that was extremely helpful in this game, and you'll see it here because my play is much stronger than it was previously. So yeah, knight to c6 and bishop to g5. And the idea is to immediately challenge the bishop with h6, and they have to make a decision. Either they come back, which is fine. I'm okay with that because I can still continue on. My plan is clear. I want to get my bishop here, my queen here, and try to trade off this light squared bishop. And so I was hoping for them to go back, and he didn't. He took, and I was okay with that. And you might want to take with the queen, and I think it's an okay move. But I remember from clicking through all the Grandmaster games that most people did not take back with the queen. They took back with the bishop. So I decided to take back with the bishop, not calculating a whole lot, just realizing that the queen is a little bit better placed on d8 than on f6. And I didn't see many Grandmasters or Masters playing queen takes f6. I think there were a few, but I saw bishop takes far more times in this particular sequence. So I went that route, and I kind of assumed that he would, attack the pawn, and then I can just drop the bishop back. And now I'm at a point where he needs to figure out his plan, and I've already got my plan. I still want to continue on with this and get this battery and kind of trade on g2 or h3. That's what I'm going to go for. And White's plan, the really great thing about going through all these games was I figured out what White was supposed to do. So I knew what White was supposed to do, and I could kind of play into it a little bit because I knew White wants to expand on the queen side. So White has his pawn chain pointing this way. They want to play on this side of the board. Plus their bishop is, got this really great square. So he kind of played into what I thought he was going to. So I'm going to develop normally, and he wants to play b4. It's clear. He could have played it right away, but he challenged it first. So I'm going to play here because I know the sequence that was going to play out where we're going to trade on b4, and he's going to want to push his pawn to b5, and then I'm going to bring my knight over to the king side for a king side attack. And this is exactly what has happened in many Grandmaster games. And that kind of played out. And here, this is the first like real decision making I had to make in the game, which is kind of crazy because it's move 14. I thought, well, do I keep the open file and just play queen to d7 and continue with my plan, which is what I wanted to do. But I saw some phantoms, I think, with opening up this bishop on the diagonal that I didn't really like. So I made a prophylactic move that's, it might be considered not good. It might be considered good. I don't know. I decided to give up the open file, which isn't really open, because he can move his rook over there and gain control of it anyways. And then it's just, the rooks are staring at each other, big deal. So what I did is I played rook to b8, protecting this pawn in the event that he eventually gets his bishop open, because I still haven't gotten my plan to trade it off in yet. Maybe that's not good. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm guessing it probably doesn't matter. I could just play queen to d7 here instead and just go for it straight away. And I think, because now we've got this battery and I think we're okay. But I played a little bit of a defensive move. Probably not necessary, but it ended up working out anyways. And he played b5. I kind of got exactly what I wanted. And he made that move, rook to b4, which to me was extremely weird. I talked to him after the game, and we had a really good postmortem. And his idea was to try to break through on the queen side with these pawn breaks. But after he made his plan, which is kind of played out like this, he realized that no matter which pawn he moves, I can lock it completely down, and then his plan was useless. And we talked about that in kind of detail. And he realized that if he pushes this pawn, I can just push this pawn. If he pushes this pawn, I can push this pawn, and there's not really a whole lot he can do to try to break through. And I said, yeah, I did find that plan to be, when you played rook to b5, or b4, I was like, that kind of, I didn't understand your plan at that point, and which was really interesting. And uh-oh, something's happening. Hopefully this will correct. And yeah, we're getting some things, so there might be some lag on the stream. Okay, it looks like it got back to green, so maybe it's corrected itself. Looks like it probably has. But what I told him, I said, what I thought you would do is try to take over the A file, and then so go here and then bring your rooks to kind of come after this square. I thought that's what the kind of plan he should have made. Maybe that's good, maybe it's not, but I thought that would have been a better plan. But okay, I continued on with my plan. Queen to d7 with my battery, coming into h3. He continued with his plan, and I said, okay, well, I get everything I wanted, and I was expecting him to take or leave it and let me take. This move, bishop to h1, I did not expect, and I think this is probably a losing move, because now the bishop's stuck. It has nowhere to go, and I have this constant pressure with this bishop that's here, and the king is stuck. It can't move at all. And I think it's probably, it's at a very minimum a mistake, but it's quite possibly a blunder not taking or letting me take the bishop, because now you're kind of stuck. And I talked to him about this, and he feels the same way. I'm not quite sure what the engine says. I did do a peek at the engine just to see where how the game went for me as a whole. And right now I'm feeling really good in my position. And that move, I was quite surprised on move 18. So I was pretty comfortable all the way up to this point. I spent 10 minutes on this move. Or he spent 10 minutes on the next move. I only spent... I spent a few minutes, and I played king to h7, mainly to be able to free up my bishop. I want to push f5, f4, and disrupt his king side. So now I'm going to start thinking about kind of making an attack and kind of going from there and opening some lines, because if I can open up the f file, I can move my rook up and move this rook over here, and I can have a really, really difficult attack coming, which will be with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and right now he's only got 2. And yeah, this is going to be pretty tough to stop. So can he stop it? Yeah, I'm sure he probably can. He should probably move his bishop back to g2, but he played queen to c2, and which I thought that he might start now finally trying to fight for the a file and come after the b7 pawn. But I played f5, and he's moving pieces away from his king, which is maybe not so good. I think he's just trying to create any counterplay he can with opening the bishop up. And I get my plan. I play f4. He plays knight c to e4, trying to be a little bit more defensive and keep some pieces near the king side. And I decided to rip open his king side. I thought that he might play this, which I was kind of hoping for, because yeah, I thought I was looking at so many different variations trying to sacrifice on this key square here, with the idea of bringing my rook over, but he always has this, and it kind of stops all of my plans. So his knights were quite defensive. He didn't take that way. He took this way, which I found to be interesting, because now it opened up my rook. But it gives him the option to eventually bring his rook back, even though I'm covering the square, with 2 pieces. There's all these possible checkmate threats, so he has to be very careful. He took here, and I played knight to f5. And can you guys see why I played knight to f5? Pause the video, try to figure it out for yourself, and let me know what variation you came up with. So there's 2 variations here that I think are most critical. He played knight to f2, and there's 2 moves here that you have to consider. There might even be more, depending on how you want to play this. I played knight to e3, and I think it's a good move, but I don't think it's the best move. I think better would have been here, and then played for this. And this is just tough to deal with. It's still a game, of course, and I think White's barely hanging on, um, with a move like this, or even just coming back, because he's got new variation. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've only got 1, 2, 3. So he's got a lot of defenders, and which is why I went this way. But now if you look, I have a problem. And can you see the problem? It ended up working in my favor, but this, I think, is holding for White right now. It's difficult. It's difficult to see. But yeah, so if you haven't figured it out, I took an escape square away from my knight. So he played here, which was a discovery, and this is the one move that I had missed in my calculation through the whole game. So this is move 25. So yeah, that was a rough move. I don't think I should have been able to do that. And this was one blunder. So I made one blunder during this game, and this was it. And I had to try to come up with a way to maybe solve this problem. Can you find the way that I solved the problem? And then can you find the way that maybe that solution doesn't necessarily work? Pause the video, leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear and see how you were thinking about this particular position. This is a rough one. So if you're coming back and you did make your comments, I played e4 here. And the idea was if he takes, I'm going to take. And then, but he can just take here. That's the problem with that. But I can play here now, and it's still a game. Is it bad? No, yes and no. We're doing okay, but not nearly as good as we could have been doing had we played this a little bit better. But that didn't play out that way. I think that's the most critical line in the position. But he took and I took. And I expected him to take back with the pawn. But he took back with the queen. And can you see the next move? That's just absolutely devastating. An engine could probably hold on to this. I don't know what the evaluation is here, but it's really rough for White. So if you didn't see it, or maybe you did, if you commented and you got it right, congratulations. I played queen to c5, and this is just so rough. Discovery, and he has really no way to stop any of the incoming danger. It's very, very difficult. How do you stop that? So he resigned here, and yeah, overall, I think I really enjoyed playing this game quite a bit. It shows, it really kind of showcases all of the hard work that I've been putting in. I've been spending a lot of time on tactics and things like that. So I did really enjoy our postmortem that I had with Michael. It was really nice. He did tell me that he hasn't had a lot of time to study. He is playing and enjoying and having fun, which is great. He would like to eventually get back to studying and improving, but right now he's just kind of playing for fun and trying to get through playing some games and enjoying his time while he's at the chess club, which Hey, that's awesome too. I like that, and it's always good to play a game with Michael. He's a strong player, and I do have to work pretty hard to try to get some wins off of him, and he makes it very challenging. This game was probably one of the better games I've played, probably in my life. I felt really strong in this game, and thanks to Michael for playing such a good game. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate you guys following my Road to Class A journey. If you've reached this far in the video, please make sure to like and share. It shows me that you like this material and you support what I'm doing and you'd like to see more. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Okay, everyone. Thank you for watching. This is awesome. Let's take a look at, I did mention that during the stream of my first two games that I would show you kind of what I was doing in ChessBase. And let's see, full screen. Okay, I think that's gonna give us what we need. So, all right. Yeah, we'll save this. We'll save over. All right, so you guys can see my results here. Alrighty, so what I did was, in ChessBase, I opened up a new tab. And what I did was, I played through the game. So, for instance, let's just go through, and you can do this with any position at all. So, play a few moves on the board. I will use the same example that I just saw in the last game, just because it's fresh in my memory. Oh, I played this wrong. Hang on. Here. My apologies. Overwrite. And here. I had a pretty strong feeling my opponent would play this. And if you are looking for whatever position, this is just an example, of course. Okay. And here. So in ChessBase, there's this really kind of cool thing. So if I open up the Windows or tools, where is it? Yeah, Windows and panes, and then reference search. I have to move my camera. Webcam on, and we'll move this up here. So in this reference search, we have, you guys don't really need to see the moves underneath my head, of course, so that doesn't really matter much. We'll just kind of cover it up. But what's interesting is anytime I make a move, so this whole reference database here shows what moves have been played and how many games have been played from this position. So in this database, which is 2 point whatever million games, there's 3,200 games here. So I looked at some key variations. This was a key variation that I looked at. And then in my course, in my counterblow course from Robert Ramirez, he plays this move, new variation. And once this finishes, there's 252 games. So I looked at a lot of these games. I clicked through them. So what I would do is I would click on one of these games on here. Let's open that up. So this is Maroxy and Karasek. And what I would do is I would just kind of click through. So you can kind of see a little bit of the game. So, all right, I just clicked a couple moves through just to see what it was like. So one of the ideas here was to push an early F5, and if they decided to, and then push D5, and then trade in the center and build up this strong center. That's one plan. And then I would close out of this and I'd say, okay, let's take a look at this let's take a look at this Carl's game. And he played this a little bit differently. Yeah. And played mainly on the queen side, stopping the plans and then coming in through the center. So that was one plan, which I thought was interesting. So then there was a very quick plan, and like I said, I mentioned during the game, the idea was to trade our dark squared bishop off. That was one of white's plans, and get in f5. So that was interesting. And then I thought, okay, well, what if they don't play that move? What's the most likely move that has been played? And the most likely move is that move. But I didn't expect him to play that. So we're going to go back because, nope. The two moves I thought that he might play are bishop d2 or bishop g5. So from here, I looked at a lot of games. There's 300 some games in this database here. So as you can see, the main move, which scores 45% for black, and the best elo was 2712, was here. And so there's only 274 games. So I looked at a lot of these games. I clicked through them. Let's take a look and see how they played. So here's one game that, as you can see, the queen goes back to d8. So I took with the bishop instead, but the position is the same. And now if you look, we get the same kind of structure that I went for. Okay, so very similar. Not exact, but kind of played out a little bit. Let's take a look at this game. And if they move back, okay. This one played in the middle, so a little bit different. But what I'm saying is, when I click through these games, I got the sense of where and how my pieces should flow and where they should go. And this helped me build a lot of confidence in this game with how to proceed, which was really nice. So I was like, well, okay, here's some of the plans. I had some of them in my head, and we could just kind of play for that. That one didn't play out the same way. I'm trying to find a game that kind of follows the same path that mine did. This one's kind of similar, but they pushed a lot of pawns in the front, and then it opened up the F file. Let's see. Take it this one. So yeah, this one, nope, they did it in the middle. Very similar. So there's a game in here that follows a lot of what happened in my game. Whoopsies. Oh. Actually, let's find it. We can just play the moves. Let's do this. Promote. Let's promote that variation. So that's the top move. 160 games. Queen to d2. Okay. So there's 7 games here, and they're mainly drawing. Let's take a look. So that was not one. I'm trying to find the game that I saw that it kind of followed the same scenario. This one didn't because they held off pushing. Maybe it was this one. I'm probably just not seeing it, which is fine. But I think you guys get the idea that if you're clicking through and you can kind of see all of the moves, you can develop a plan and kind of move the way they did. One of the things that I noticed quite well, or I had like an epiphany, is that if you look, we're on move 26. And this is the first move that really goes into white's territory. I mean, we're still fighting for the center, and every once in a while you get a pawn that kind of goes on the 4th rank. But what I found is that they don't really press into each other's territory, or black doesn't in this particular opening, for a lot of moves. So what I was trying to do is not like press super hard into Nope, not that one. Let's do this one. And I just kind of tried to slowly improve my pieces and go that route instead of trying to throw a big attack and smash them. That was my big epiphany while doing this process, which I found to be very interesting and very helpful. So I'm obviously not seeing the some of the plans, but you could see from just clicking through some of those games, some of the plans were to get your bishop out over here, your queen here, and then expand in the center or on the queen side and on the king side. So there's a lot of options, which is really nice. And clicking through those kind of built up a comfort in the opening and the middle game plan, which was really, really nice. So chess base is such a huge, huge thing. It's really, really nice. Okay, should we play some games? Let's play some games. No. Let's close all that out. All right. Let's open up a new tab here and let's go play some games on chess.com. Play with some music. In the background. I don't know how well it is. Maybe it's good. If it's no good, let me know. But I think we're good. All right. Should we play some games? Okay, let's see here. And whoops. Chess.com playing. Okay. Perfect. Let's see here. We're gonna play a Dutch. Haven't played a Dutch in a while. Let's take a look. Yeah, so in the Dutch you kind of want to hold off moving these pieces best you can. So now he has to decide where the knight goes. This is the best move. So now look how silly his bishop is. Oh yeah, by the way, I have crossed over 1500 in Blitz. I'm really low rate. I'm very low rated. I should probably be 1700-ish maybe. Okay. Now I have to remember, how do we best proceed here? I'm trying to remember the lines. So we can push here, and then his knight's got to go back, and that would just be bad. But I don't really have a way to protect the pawn after that. I think we just let it happen, don't we? Can't remember. Drawing a blank. I think we go here because we're attacking this pawn then, and he should play e3. If he takes, we're supposed to do this. Yeah. Quiet, Franklin. Oh my gosh. Won't mess this up. No, I'm suffering. Shoot. That was a mistake. All right. We're okay. We're okay. We can come here. What are you trying to do? I think we can do that. If he takes, we just take. I think we're okay. Oh, you know, one thing I didn't look is if my stream is on Lichess. I was. Let's see. Watch broadcast. Nope, streams. Your streamer page. Nicholas Sloan. Should show us on. Yeah, it does. Awesome. So that's cool. Yeah, I guess let's do that. Okay, where are you gonna go with that knight there, big boy? I'm like barely hanging on to this. Hopefully I can pull through. let's do that first. Okay, we can win that pawn. Guess not. Lame-o. Shoot! Oh, I'm okay. We're okay. We're fine. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. I need to get that rook out. It's just useless. It's not doing anything. We're down a minute. Man, I gotta speed up here. All right, this is helpful. Hopefully it takes en passant. Nope. Did not. Well, now we're going to drop an exchange, so that sucks. Okay. Dropped an exchange, but I think we're barely hanging on here. Like, barely. Have to be careful back rank stuff. Gotta get an escape square, develop my bishop because it got undeveloped. That way at least I have a place to go. Move your rook there. All right. I got chances. I got chances. Go here and then here. Dang. All right. How are we doing? How are we doing? Ah, shoot. Oh, and I can't stop it either. Crap. Too many. Darn. Okay. Let's see. What was the game review? Oh, you guys can't really see it. Full screen. Oh, game review's not working. That's cool. Good job. Garbage. Nice. Bummer. What the heck? Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, it's my Firebot was having a problem. Womp womp. Okay, I'm going to use the restroom and I'll be back momentarily. Okay. Let's play another one. Play the bird. Let's play the bird. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, baby. Thank you for the follow. Oh, that's fun. Good try. Now look at what you've done. Oh boy. Oh boy. From's Gambit. Good try. Oh. I think we can just do that, right? Here and then here. And we're safe. What can he do? Take? Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, if he comes here, we can just take. Oh no, then he can take our knight. We have to be careful. Okay, let's castle first. So you need more than 2 pieces to attack. How do we best handle this? Do we just go here? that's okay. This is crazy. All right. I think we're unwinding finally. At least I hope we are. He might find something else. I'm not sure, but let's see. I don't normally play the bird, so really interesting. I think we could just take that or ignore it. Do we go this way and then force queen trades, or do it this way? Yeah, let's go like that. Yeah, it was probably a mistake. Ah, okay, but he didn't see it, so. Yeah, he could have brought his knight in, and then it would have been just really tough to deal with. Womp womp. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated for the follows. We have to be careful with the knight coming in. Whoops. Because if I stayed there and took with the king, it's kind of bad. But we should be safe now. Can't really do anything at this point. That's fine. You can take the knight. I don't really care. Very interesting. Oh, I have a little bit of a time advantage for the first time. Woohoo! I think we just take that. I think this works. If he takes here, we can do check with the discovery. Oh, no, we can't. Shoot. Well, that's fine. We gave up that central pawn. Oh, well. But if he doesn't take it, then I can go here, which is sweet. Or I'll just take. Actually, I'll just take. But then we go here, and he can't go after the pawn. His queen is just so stuck where it is. Oh, okay. Are there any discoveries? No, we're fine. Well, we could just take the pawn, but big deal. Take the other pawn, go ahead. Ooh, that's fun. What are you gonna do? Thanks for the rook. God, this guy is just... so irritating. Oh, fuck. Whatever, dude. So lame. Is it actually gonna work? Oh, so your stuff failed and then it won't give you a... That's so dumb. Okay, everyone, I think I'm done for the day. Do appreciate you all watching. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been extremely helpful and fun. So see you guys later, and have a great day. Peace out, everybody.